Rec-
Hey everybody, welcome back. I have an update about the Circleville Police Department. I'm just going to start to share the screen. I'm going to be using the portion of screen view. Haven't quite mastered it, but I'll do what I can. So just bear with me. Go ahead and expand this window here.
It's from the Circleville Police Department about how the department handled the canine bite that grabbed national headlines. NBC4 Investigates Jamie Ostroff is digging through records from the city's legal department. Jamie.
Yes, here, and this all goes back to July 4th. That is when Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers chased a truck driver who didn't pull over for an inspection. That chase ended in Circleville, where K9 officer Ryan Speakman unleashed his dog, the truck, surrendering to troopers. Speakman was fired 3 weeks later. Records from Circleville don't just show what happens if they all be because of anything he did on that scene. You are looking at newly released body camera footage. K9 officer Ryan Speakman. In Speakman, it's at Ohio Patrol troop. We're trying to arrest truck driver Jadarius Road. 3 counties. Speakman rolls up and comes shouting, "Get on the ground, I'm gonna send the dog." Second voice you hear shouting a conflicting command. Speakman commands a second time after less than 10 seconds on the scene. "Get on the ground, you're gonna get 10 seconds." That Please, K9, you're gonna get bit. Speakman released the dog 22 seconds after he arrived on the scene. Rose is seen kneeling to the ground with his hands up as the dog bites him. In Speakman's report, he writes that Rose refused to comply with all my attempts to get him to surrender. After the bite, Speakman continued to resist, and that Rose was, quote, reaching for his waist area. Another Circleville officer gives a similar account. While the video shows Rose struggling with the dog latched to his arm, there is no view of him reaching for his waist. From Police Chief Sean Baer, a use of force review board reviewed the incident 2 days later and found that all personnel involved acted within departmental policy. But 2 weeks later, the chief discovered Speakman had been, quote, crying and talking with other employees about being stressed over the July 4th K9 deployment. Speakman was investigated for the release of confidential information. Speakman has filed a grievance for wrongful termination. I've reached out to the union representing him, but have not heard back. Circleville's chief of police continues to not respond to my messages.
Okay, so as we can see, I'm going to go ahead and shut this window down. As we can see, this ain't nothing but straight BS, and that's just it. So first of all, let me correct something that I said before in the previous video. I stand corrected as far as giving Circleville police chief kudos for justly firing this officer. I stand corrected. Now that we know what the firing cause was, it's kind of like shutting down Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress. You didn't shut her down because of all the rhetoric that she was saying and basically keeping pushing fear tactics and so forth and all these conspiracy theories and all kinds of crazy stuff that a representative should not be doing and should be censored for and everything. No, you didn't shut her down for that, but you shut her down for her calling her fellow female, not even a counterpart, because they supposed to be on the same team, her and Lauren having an argument, calling each other out of their names or whatnot. And that's why you fired it. It wasn't for anything else. Well, this one is pretty much the same thing. You didn't fire this K9 unit for going from verbal commands straight to using his police dog because someone was non-compliant. First of all, like I said in the previous video, there's only one officer that is on the scene that is in command, and that's normally the first person there, regardless to anyone's rank, regardless as to how long you've been on the force. All that stuff does not matter. You are the first person on the scene. You are the first officer on the scene. Let me get this clear. You are the first officer on the scene. You are the officer in charge until you become either compromised or there's special situations where you can't de-escalate the situation and then someone else has to step in and calmly take the situation over because you don't want to end up in a civil lawsuit later because you use excessive force. Now that I don't know if the whole entire video was clear for you guys, so just in case if it wasn't, I'm gonna just talk about it. So basically what their local news is saying is that, oh, we didn't hear it from the crybaby side perspective and how he looked at the scene and everything. So in my eyes, you are a responding officer to officers that are already there. The last thing you should be doing is trying to come on scenes and immediately giving commands, because that would be contradicting. If I'm telling him to stand up, you telling him to sit down, who is he going to listen to? He or she or whomever. Who are they going to listen to? That's like having two parents trying to tell the child that they're on punishment. No, they're not off punishment. Well, which one is it? Am I on punishment or am I off punishment? Who do I listen to? So not only did you mess that up, that's a lack of professionalism. And then like we've always talked about on this show is that we always talk about the use of force continuum, about where the K9 fits in. He fits in just under the firearm. Why? Because that dog does what it's trained to do, and that's serious bodily harm. So we go from not obeying my commands to using my K9 to get a bite. For what? You got 6 or 7 officers. There's a mixture of firearms and tasers. And so you think adding a K9 unit is taking over? I mean, I want to see their police policies. I want to see their use of a force continuum. And I'm going to try my best to get it. To see how their training somehow don't match any other states, county, or city's use of force continuum. So you mean to tell me that another officer can come from anywhere when I'm already complying or whatever I'm doing, but there's no use to use a K9? And they can just come on the scene, take it over, and then hide behind, oh, this individual wasn't complying. Okay, but let me go ahead and rewind the tape a little bit further back. So now they're trying to build a story of, well, let me tell you why. Well, everything starts out small, then it gets grand, and then it gets small again. So they're saying that I can't remember his name. I know it starts with a J. Dejarius or something like that. Was a truck driver. He either skipped past inspection or he didn't stop or whatever. But anyway, it caused the troopers to get after him. Okay. Got it. Now, why did the test take so long and all of that? I'm pretty sure they'll bring that up too and all this other stuff when we can get everybody's story together. But what we have so far is we have a chase of a truck driver. And, oh, I'm sorry, I left out a very important piece. If this was over a missing mud flat. Now, I know how that might sound. So let me try to articulate to you why a mud flap is worth maybe a citation or whatever the case may be. Because when you're talking about big rigs going down the road, they have a very large potential of going over gravel and stuff like that, or debris in the road. It kicks up, it hits other drivers in the windshield or whatnot. Now that driver's going to continue to go. He don't know the damage that he's caused. So it is a serious thing. So I don't want to water down the cause, so to speak. It is a cause. It is a citable offense. But it's not like worthy of a firearm, so forth. I don't want to try to make up an excuse as to for the driver, for him knowing or noticing a trooper being behind him and chasing him for so long or whatnot, because all of that builds up anxiety, and then it does explain why you have so many guns on the scene, like I had said previously before, in the in the previous video. So I'm trying to go back and I'm trying to fill in, I guess, the blanks that was from the previous video. So, and if you didn't really catch it, the verbal commands and everything, I was trying to give you what was being said. So I do apologize for the lack of the quality of the audio from me sharing the previous video, but there was one person that was given commands from that body cam, from that particular body cam. These were the initial officers that were on the scene that had already told the driver to get out and everything and so forth. They were already in control. So now, after all of this is over, this is not what the K9 unit got in trouble for. He got in trouble for complaining about this ordeal. That was not the firing issue. I'm sorry, that was the firing issue. It wasn't the issue of him getting his dog to bite this driver, in my professional opinion, unnecessarily. He was not professional. He did not come on that scene trying to get an update or trying to see who was actually in charge and trying to see, hey, do you want for me to send my K9 unit? They knew he was there. He just jumped out the car. Hey, get on the ground, K9 unit, K9 unit, you know. But who are you really supposed to be listening to? No wonder the dude just stood there like, well, what do I do? Do you want me on the ground? You want me to stand? You want my hand behind my back? You want me to put my hands up? Like, you getting many commands. And everybody's trying to be important. Everybody's trying to be heard. But that's not why you got fired. You got fired because you were complaining and you shared information to something, to someone or somebody's that wasn't supposed to know or didn't have a need to know. And that's why he got fired. Okay. So now that's where we're at. Y'all know everything that I know, and I have no more to say. So I thank you yet again for my content manager, Mr. Jim Young, for sharing this update with us and letting us know. And we'll stay on top of it, and we'll keep you guys updated. Other than that, you guys have a blessed day, and I'll catch you on the other side. Thank y'all.